but how did you find yourself on the track? Because there's a mixture, like half a year on the track and half a year still racing, like over in Europe or down the States or.
Yeah, so I raced Canada Games in 2013, and that was, at the time, that was one of the biggest races I'd ever done. I kind of just squeezed in. I was 22, so I was the oldest that you could be. And I ended up doing pretty well there. I won 2 gold medals, and that got my name a little bit sort of into the national team pool. And from there, I was invited to attend some track camps in LA. So at the time, the Milton velodrome wasn't built. It was sort of in the process. And so the national team was based in LA. And I was invited down to sort of a selection camp. They were trying to build the pool of athletes before Rio. So they invited some road riders. And so I showed up on actually Jenny's old track bike, had really no idea what I was doing. We were thrown onto the track, and I think the only reason why I made it to the next round, because my technical skills were horrendous, the only reason I made it through was on the last day, everyone had to race an individual pursuit, and I had a time that was fast enough to get me to the next, to get me an invite to the next camp. And so that was kind of my intro into the track. And there was sort of a sequence of camps that I was able to sort of learn some of the ropes for team pursuit and kind of progress my way on. I was part of the, it wasn't really called Next Gen at the time, but it was sort of the development group, which Ariane, for instance, was part of that as well, and Kinley and some of the people who, have continued on to the elite team. So I kind of, progressed from there, and then was invited to be an alternate for the elite team. And so I attended a number of World Cups without racing. That's kind of a transition where you're training with the team and assisting in that process, but you're there in case there's an injury or something happens. And I can tell you more about that in terms of, I was the alternate for Rio. So that's an interesting role on the team.
Did you get to race?
I did not race in Rio. So
But you got to go there.
Yeah, so I was the alternate. So I knew that there was an almost near zero chance that I would be racing unless something catastrophic happened to the team, and that's something that you don't want for anyone. Right. So that was really like a growing experience for me to be training for the biggest race in our season, knowing that I wasn't going to race
in the world, really,
in the world, yeah.